Donald Trump's in panic mode today because of Epstein. Two of them. Two of them. So get ready to listen to everything I'm about to break down to you because he's been calling lies. Ghislaine Maxwell's been calling lies. The Republicans running like hell over to the side to vote to release the official files. But before the official files came out, guess what? Garcia did something really smart. He subpoenaed Epstein's estate and said, give me those 20,000 files you already got. And they released them. And they're out. And they're public. And I'm going to show you how to get them. I'm going to show you where they're at. You want to know where they're at? I'm going to show you where you can see them for yourself. I'm going to have a lot of follow-up information on this. You ready? Okay, so let's go. First of all, he's freaking out because he knows he's caught in major lies. Just off the 20,000 that they found from the Epstein estate. That ain't even the Epstein files. And by the way, for those of you who like to say, well, I don't know if they'll ever release the Epstein files. Well, it'll be confirmed by the victim's lawyers who already knows everything. And Garcia has done a great job on the oversight committee identifying the bullshit to see if it's actually the files or not. The files that he subpoenaed to get and they got was the files from the Epstein estate. And that is very revealing. I'm going to show you how to get access yourself so you can see for yourself from the Oversight Committee, okay? So just listen to the end and all through this. The other thing I want you to understand very clearly, and this is really powerful, is that the way in which the actual Epstein files are coming out, if the White House is preparing. They're already saying, ooh, listen, here's the deal. Here's the deal. We acknowledge that they're files now. You know, when they said they were gone, now they suddenly reappeared, right? Because we knew, as we all knew, they were always there. So the Epstein files are out. They're revealing this shit. They are exposed. Exposed. Now, what happens? Well, there's going to be a vote sometime between now and early December. And this is going to pull this stuff out through the House. Then it goes to the Senate. And the reality is everybody's on the record of doing this. So if they don't vote, if they say present, if they say no, it's going to be on the record. And there's a lot of people up for seats in 26 and 28. And they don't want to be on the record over no pedophile shit. No, they don't want to be in trouble over that. So what we're having right now is this freak out that he's trying to get meetings with Lauren Boebert. There are people walking away from Trump. There are people walking away from Trump. They're walking away, and they know that this is his end game. This is the Trump end game. So basically, the more this comes out scandal-wise, going into 2026, it's going to look bad on him. Can they get him out of office? They could. Like I said before, J.D. Vance could be a whole different beast and animal we got to watch. So the game ain't over with Trump out. It ain't. But can we end this Trumpism? Yeah. With these Epstein files? Absolutely. Because he's lying all over the place. There's no way you're going to get away with that. That is the hottest thing that you could ever do. And he's caught. He's caught. He's caught. And the files he don't want released, that he's trying to get the Republicans and everybody not to vote, not to do, not to release, don't release, is not only going to expose him, but it's going to expose several other people in the game too. And I say, hey, more power to him. Expose it. Let it go, right? Here's the other thing you got to begin to look at when we're talking about Trump and these Epstein files. The biggest challenge that he's going to have right now is trying to justify the words he had in the official record as the actual truth versus what is coming out right now, even within the 20,000 files that are out there. What I've done for you, all of you, and I've asked you to make sure is provide them to you. I've made them available. When you look in the description of my video, you can see joining the Clarity group, which is where we first had that revealed, because the Clarity member, big shout out to Jade, already had the files and where to download them and everything. But then the second place to go is going to be directly to the Oversight Committee. Well, Darren, where can I go to see that? All you got to do is go in my description here in this video, and you can find it. If you're on TV or something watching this, I don't know if you can do that or not. You might want to go to a computer, but it's okay. We also have them available in the Clarity group. The link is in the description and in the homepage. If you want to join the group, we're on sale right now. But the whole idea is the files are there, baby. They are there. And it's not the official Epstein files are coming. But the ones that Garcia was wise enough, young man, smart, to subpoena to get from the estate is revealing enough. What are we revealing? For instance, in the Epstein emails back and forth, he's pointing out that obviously Ghislaine Maxwell has seen Trump, met Trump, been around with Trump, while Trump was with the victim. They got him. They got him. Done. Here's the other thing. There basically is a bunch of communication that Epstein is saying because he's mad at the way Trump is treating him, but Trump has met this man since he was convicted. He's met him. He's met him, according to Epstein, and there's no reason Epstein lied. He sent a private email to somebody. It's saying, and it's going over back and forth. He basically is proving what has actually happened. He's proving the fact that Epstein, that Trump did know him, Trump communicated with them, Trump was with the victims, Trump was connected. It wasn't actual stuff, but it was there. Out of those 20,000 documents, there are also images and pictures and stuff, but it's not, it's not the graphic pictures, but it's pictures. It's a ton of information that you can find, both in the text and the images particularly. And you want to be able to see it. It is public document now. And now the next thing to do is to get the court documents that were hidden and sealed. If this is an indicator to where the lies have been, if this is the indicator, then surely the rest of this is an indicator of what is happening. What I'm saying to you is that the more they unravel his lies, the worse it becomes. Just like with Epstein in the first place. When he said, I'm going to release the Epstein files, but there's no Epstein files. And everybody climbed all over him, from MAGA to the left, climbed all over him. And he realized this was the kryptonite he can't hide. When, Pam Bondi's saying it was on my desk, and now she's saying it don't exist and won't answer, and there's subpoenas going on. So for those of you who keep saying that Trump controls everything, no. Because there wouldn't have been a subpoena of Patel and Bondi on the Senate, there would not be a hearing of any kind by Congress if he controlled it. The game is over. It's loosening, and it is his walkout game in a matter of months. If he should live so far. Keep in mind, I estimate the man might die as early before the end of this year. And then I said, I stretched it a little longer, said might be 5 to 7 months. So what I'm saying right now is that it is a chance that this stuff could be happening. It could be his end game. And what I want all of you to understand is, what does this mean politically? If he's out the door and he's alive, he still has MAGA influence. In fact, they kind of martyred him. Oh, they kicked him out on some bullshit. We're going to support. That's where they at. He can work that. But if he's kicked out and he dies, or if he dies before he's kicked out, by natural causes, of course, I don't want to see any violence on anybody. I'm not hinting, I'm not anything. Because hurting him, because violence on him and he dies would make him a martyr. It would be much worse for us. Well, I don't want that happening. Plus, I'm just, karma-wise. I'm not calling through God's spirit, death, anything to call death on anybody. But I am saying this. If he goes out to natural causes, they lose half the MAGA base. So we got a scenario right now where he is deeply politically hurt. The greatest thing about this is this. This hurts him with the GOP Congress. Whatever influence he had over there, out. 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 Now, GOP is a pain in the ass by itself in Congress, whether it's the House or the Senate. Fuck them both. But the fact that he cannot wield that influence changes the narrative of his executive power tremendously. Tremendously. Now, some of you are going to go and say stuff like, oh, but he still controls the Supreme Court. Yeah, but understand this. This is what most people don't get. That's why we don't know the history, operation, laws of our government as a people. And the biggest weakness the left has is that they think that he's getting away with stuff when he's getting a weight with stuff. W-A-I-T, a weight with stuff. In other words, wait for it. The shit is about to hit the fan. So let's talk about that. History, operation, laws of our government. I want you to understand something powerful here. Supreme Court only controls 1% of the cases. That's why they turned down the gay marriage case. They're like, God, we got enough on our docket as it is. Do you know he has 500 to 700 cases running right now? So many people can't even keep up. And out of the lower case courts, which handle 99%, and the 677 judges across 94 districts in 50 states, and as I always say, they're not all on our side, but it's been proven over the last 42 weeks that there are judges who are Reagan, both Bush and Trump appointed judges that will side with us and say, no, that's illegal. No, you can't do this. These judges have been holding on business. So you can't kick everything up to the Supreme Court. So he might have the Supreme Court, but he doesn't have the he doesn't have the executive branch. Sorry, he doesn't. Stop believing that stupid shit. The other thing we want to point out, and we want to get you really clear on, is understanding the real identified purpose of what's happening. Here's what's really happening so you can grasp this, okay? You need to understand in depth, what the transition is that's occurring. Understand what's happening. Here's what that comes down to. Your ability to grasp the narrative. What he's doing right now is in panic mode because this guy is at a great fail. And he knows that if he's kicked out of, this is the big one, he's kicked out of his position as president, that leaves him susceptible to everything. He no longer has immunity. So even if he's alive, who could clap back on him since he's no longer president? Everybody from everything he's ever done. When you're grifting, you don't get immunity. You see, there's 9 different investigations going on with these guys. But the first 3 are grifting, deportations, and Elon and Doge. The second 2, questionable with him not as president. And he may be able to claim immunity. But you can't claim immunity with grifting. You out in the streets. You are out in the cold. You are exposed. See, if he's out of that office and out of that position, he's exposed not only for civil lawsuits, but for actual criminal lawsuits when it's time. Can he be held for a criminal lawsuit for being with a minor? That's the question that comes up, and the answer is yes. That's the one I've gotten from lawyers. He could be in trouble. Big trouble. Big trouble. So they catch him with this. He could claim, well, I'm the president, but if you're not the president anymore, then what happens? It's your ass. It's time to stay at the J-A-I-L. It's fun to stay at the J-A-I-L-L. Oh, they can get him. They can get him. They're going to get his ass. Woo. Now, he's a slimy little crocodile. He can get away with shit. He is. He's brilliant at that. He is. There could be a masterclass on 3 things that Donald Trump did. The way he moved political elections, the way he markets, the way he brands. And it could be a 4th one on how he manipulates the court system. He is brilliant at that. Also, his asset allocation and how he moves assets. These are things you can learn about, really. You can learn about. But here's the thing. If he is no longer president, it kills his power. It removes him from power. The only power he has is the influence on the MAGA base. He could have influence by tens of millions, and that could, in some way, get the Congress uncomfortable. But I doubt it. It's at this point, it's if I don't stand up against pedophiles, I ain't gonna be Congress, which is true. It's absolutely true. 100%. So it's about to get real interesting. What I want you to pay attention to is the talks that happen back and forth as they work to get these other files through. But in the meanwhile, you got 20,000 pieces of data. And the type of people, listen to me, the type of people you should be listening to on the left are going to be the not listen to, are the alarmist, conspiracy, and doomsday people. You want to listen to people who are going through the data. You want to go, who are giving you context what the data means and connecting the dots. And the first immediate dots everybody's getting is, oh, he has met Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh, he was with these victims, and we have proof of that. And oh, he was in communication with Epstein after he was indicted, convicted, whatever. They caught him. And all the stuff he said, I hadn't been around him, I ain't touched him, I don't know him, I ain't seen nobody, I ain't been with nobody. Wrong, wrong, wrong. And that's why he's been working like hell to cover up all of this BS. And that's why he's trying to scramble now to cover up all the BS. Will he be successful in covering up the Epstein files? Let's put it like this. We now have a cipher. We got a key. We can tell whether it's real or not because they've tried to do the okie doke. The first key is the victim's lawyers who knows what's in there, knows the documents. And they can't speak on it by law. But if they would have, it would have already been out there. The second group, because it was ordered by judge. The second group is Garcia, who's done an excellent job. Young man's done an excellent job at filtering out what is the bullshit and what is not the bullshit. And him to subpoena to get those Epstein files was amazing timing. Amazing. They released it right at the right time. So all you got to do is go through there, kind of figure out along the way what you see, because I'm going to have the link right there. You can, right in the description. There again, if you're on TV, you might want to go to computer to get it if you can't get in the description. But it'll be in the description of this video, and you can read through yourself. It's a lot, but there's a lot of us who are going to be deciphering a lot of key data out of it. And we're going to pin a lot of key data out of it. 20,000 files is a lot. A lot of text, a lot of images, a lot of key stuff that we can connect the dots on. And it don't take a genius to figure out that he's lying. How do we know he's lying? His lips are moving. But on top of that, we also know that there's a connection that Ghislaine Maxwell has said under oath, is, straight up said, well, I don't know nothing about no Trump. Bullshit. Bullshit. They already caught him. People are already putting that out in the press. And there's going to be more documents coming out. I'm going to show you what it means. This man's going down. Now, if he's no longer president, he becomes a big, major target. He still has influence if he's alive under MAGA, and that will have some influence with Congress, but not the same. If they kick this guy out, which I hope they do, it's going to weaken him and make him susceptible as a non-presidential candidate, not only in lawsuits civilly, but they could get something back criminally on him. They could get him. It's a matter of time. Like I said, I've said this for a long time now. It took years to get Nixon. So it could take some time to get this guy, but they can get this guy. And the more he's removed from launch codes, I think we can all understand that, right? The more he's removed from launch codes, the happier we'll be. And the safer we'll be. Now, J.D. Vance in the picture, that still ain't no better, man. He's an asshole, and so is the Heritage Foundation. But I'm going to tell you right now, everybody's talking about half of the Heritage Foundation is completed. Bullshit. 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 They're in trouble. There's a Republican MAGA civil war going on. It ain't happening, y'all. It ain't happening. They're in serious hurt, and this is what can hurt them greatly. And we're going to watch this as it continues and develops. Keep following.